Jessie, prostitution as a means to survive isn't new. What's different about survival sex?
The report talks about survival sex to separate it from this thought that people who are choosing prostitution as a career or as a commercial aspect. This is talking about people who are turning to prostitution not through choice but out of absolute desperation.
Right, and we're not talking about just women, are we? Older women, younger women, men as well?
Yeah, the report showed that, you know, it's across the board, younger women definitely.
Now, whilst this is a new study, for some of the people involved, this isn't new, is it? This has been a way of life for a very long time.
Yeah, that's the disturbing part of the report. When you see the link to childhood sexual abuse, then sexual exploitation as a young person, I think one of the average entry levels was 16, so we're talking about young women who've known the exploitation through sex for a long time. And then obviously this is coupled with these really kind of hard times for these young women. We've seen people who are literally having to make a choice between do I eat, what about accommodation, or going back out onto the streets and having to sell their bodies. And the problem as well is that they're turning to such a risky trade. You know, the statistics also show the significant harm that these women are putting themselves through, or the risk of harm that they face.
Tell us about some of the dangers then they face.
So, I mean, rape is commonplace. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, the way that they're stigmatised, people still thinking that they're choosing this. And the sad thing is, you know, the rape conviction rate is 6%. So we're talking about more than half of women will be raped, and yet when they do report, they're not listened to, they're not taken seriously.
So if someone is totally dependent on this as a way of life, how can you help?
One of the things that we need to do is reach these women, which is because they're a hidden population. People don't know it's happening, so we have to go out there, find them, offer them hope of a different way. Accommodation and safe accommodation is paramount. We need to get them out of these dangerous situations. We need to sometimes provide basic food, clothing, and then we start to actually, once we meet their basic needs, deal with the most important aspect, which is the deep-rooted needs. You can imagine they've been through, you know, childhood abuse. There's a real kind of trauma that's happened, and they need their lives to be rebuilt, and it's really intensive work that we have to do, but it does work.
That must take an awfully long time then to take somebody on that journey. How long are you talking about?
Absolutely. We can work with people for up to 5, 6, 7 years. This isn't a quick fix, and I think this is the problem for charities like A Way Out, that when it comes to people who would look to fund it, people want quick fixes, and this isn't. This is a journey that a woman needs to take, a journey of recovery where she needs hope, support, and that's a long term.
Yes, and of course all this needs funding, and as a charity you need to raise those funds. Well, hopefully this has raised some awareness of that, Jessie. Thank you very much.